The arrival. In the bustling heart of the city, where neon lights flickered like stars, Rick Chambers had settled into a routine that was predictable yet comforting. As a freelance photographer, his days were filled with capturing the beauty of the world through his lens. But tonight, as he hunched over his computer, reviewing the images from a recent shoot, a strange feeling fluttered in his stomach, a sensation that something unusual was about to unfold. The clock on his desk read 11:37 p.m., and the hum of the city below was a soothing backdrop to his solitary work. Just as he adjusted the brightness on his screen, a muffled thud echoed from the bathroom. He paused, his heart skipping a beat. His apartment was on the 17th floor. No one should be here but him. It must be the pipes, he reasoned, shaking his head to dismiss the unease creeping in. But then he heard it, a giggle. It was distinctly feminine, high-pitched and melodic, yet somehow otherworldly. Rick's heart raced as he leaned back in his chair, his mind racing. Was he alone in his apartment? He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Grabbing a heavy lens cap, he slowly approached the bathroom door, its frame aglow with soft blue light seeping through the gap. "Hello," he called, his voice steady despite the growing sense of dread. There was no response, just another giggle, this one louder and accompanied by a hushed voice speaking in a language he couldn't understand. Drawing a deep breath, Rick pushed the door open, ready to confront whatever was inside. What met his eyes was beyond comprehension. Two stunning women stood in his bathtub, completely nude. Their skin was a radiant blue that shimmered as if lit from within, their bodies adorned with curves that seemed to defy the laws of nature. One had flowing silver hair that cascaded down her back, while the other's hair sparkled like starlight, tousled yet beautiful. The taller one, her eyes wide with wonder, fiddled with the shower head, while the shorter one ran her fingers over the bathroom tiles, tracing every grout line. "Who? What?" Rick stammered, the lens cap slipping from his grasp and clattering to the floor. The taller woman turned, her smile disarming and enchanting. "Greetings, Earth Dweller," she said, her voice melodic and clear. "I am Anita, and this is Layla. We come from the planet Aquinine, seeking knowledge of your world." Rick blinked, his mind struggling to process this surreal scene. Aliens, actual aliens, standing in his bathroom, naked and unashamed. "You can't you need to put some clothes on," he blurted, tossing a towel in their direction. "This is my apartment, and this is not okay." Anita inspected the towel curiously, draping it over her shoulders like a cape, leaving her lower half exposed. "Ah, I see. A fabric shield to conceal one's form. How quaint." Layla, slightly shyer, clutched the towel Rick had tossed her, glancing at him with wide, iridescent eyes. "Perhaps we should have researched your customs of dress before materializing," she murmured. "Definitely," Rick replied, pinching the bridge of his nose to stave off the headache brewing from the bizarre encounter. "Listen, I'm going to get you some clothes. Just stay right here." He turned and left the bathroom, shutting the door behind him to collect his thoughts. His life had just turned into a scene from a movie. As he rummaged through his closet, searching for anything that might fit his unexpected guests, Rick's mind raced with questions. Should he call someone? The police? The government? Who would believe him? And more importantly, what would happen to Anita and Layla if he did? They seemed innocent, curious, and utterly unaware of the havoc they had just unleashed on his life. He finally settled on a pair of sweatpants and two of his baggiest t-shirts. It wasn't ideal, but it would have to do. With a deep breath, he headed back to the bathroom, preparing for what was sure to be the strangest conversation of his life. "Anita, Layla, I got some clothes for you. Can I come in?" "Enter, Rick Chambers," Anita called out, her voice bright and inviting. "We eagerly await your return." As he opened the door, Rick was greeted with a sight both amusing and surreal. Anita had managed to wrap the towel around her torso, while Layla had tangled herself in a roll of toilet paper, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "What is this?" Layla asked, her voice bubbling with excitement. It feels soft and fluffy. Rick couldn't help but chuckle. That's toilet paper. It's for, well, you'll figure it out. Here, put these on. He handed the clothes to them, watching as they struggled with the unfamiliar garments. Despite their alien beauty, there was something unmistakably human in the way they fumbled and giggled, their joy infectious. Once dressed, Anita in the oversized sweatpants and Layla in the t-shirt that nearly swallowed her whole, Rick led them into the living room. They gazed around, wide-eyed, absorbing every detail of his apartment. "Please sit," he said, gesturing to the couch. As they perched on the edge of the couch, their posture impeccable, Rick leaned forward, heart pounding with anticipation. "Okay, let's start from the beginning. You're from Aquanine, right? Where exactly is that?" Anita's eyes sparkled with excitement, illuminating the room with a soft glow. Aquanine orbits a binary star system, approximately 47 light-years from Earth. It is the 9th planet in our system, she explained, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. "Wow," Rick breathed, trying to wrap his mind around the enormity of it all. "And you came all this way. Why?" Layla chimed in, her eagerness palpable. "We are seekers of knowledge, Rick Chambers. Your planet has fascinated our people for eons, particularly its abundance of water and the diverse life forms it supports." Rick's heart raced. This was unbelievable. Aliens in his home, eager to learn about Earth. "And how did you choose my apartment?" he asked, a mixture of curiosity and disbelief in his tone. Anita and Layla exchanged a glance. "Our phase shift technology allows us to transport to any location we can visualize," Anita explained. "We miscalculated, believing this dwelling to be unoccupied." Rick couldn't help but chuckle, shaking his head at the absurdity of it all. "Well, you're not in an empty place anymore. This is my home, and now you're here." Their excitement was palpable, that innocent curiosity almost contagious. Despite the overwhelming nature of the encounter, Rick felt a flicker of intrigue ignite within him. Perhaps this was the beginning of something extraordinary. Maybe, just maybe, he could learn as much from them as they could from him. "All right," he said, leaning back in his chair. "Let's talk. What do you want to know about Earth?" As the conversation unfolded, Rick felt the barriers of disbelief and anxiety begin to dissolve, replaced by a sense of adventure. This was not just an encounter with aliens, it was a chance to explore the unknown. Together, they would embark on a journey that would change everything. The exchange of worlds. The living room pulsed with an energy that felt almost electric. Rick sat across from Anita and Layla, their wide eyes sparkling with a mixture of curiosity and wonder as they took in their surroundings. The atmosphere was thick with the scent of old books and freshly brewed coffee, a stark contrast to the alien air that they carried with them. Rick couldn't shake the feeling that he was teetering on the edge of something monumental, an encounter that transcended the ordinary bounds of reality. Anita leaned forward, her interest palpable. "Tell us about your planet's water sources," she urged, her silver hair catching the soft glow of the lamp. "We have studied the hydrosphere of Earth from afar, but we wish to understand the experience of being immersed in it." Rick scratched his head, momentarily thrown off by the question. Sure. Well, Earth is about 71% water, mostly in the form of oceans, lakes, and rivers. Freshwater sources are relatively scarce, usually found in lakes and rivers. We drink it, swim in it, and even use it for various activities, like cooking, cleaning, and bathing. He paused, a grin creeping across his face. "Speaking of bathing, that's what you were doing when I found you, right?" Layla giggled, her laughter filling the room like music. "Yes, it was delightful. The water cascaded from above, and we felt weightless, like leaves in the wind. But it was puzzling. Why would you cover your cells in fabric after?" Rick chuckled, recalling the towel incident. "Well, that's just how humans do things. We have a concept of privacy. Nudity is usually kept for intimate situations or, well, personal preference." Anita tilted her head, processing the information. Fascinating. So, to cover oneself is a cultural norm here. What other practices do you have regarding this water? The most common practice is showering, Rick explained, settling more comfortably in his seat as the conversation flowed. We use it for personal hygiene, but it can also be a relaxing experience. Some people even use it to think or sing. You'd be surprised how many shower concerts happen in private bathrooms. Layla's eyes widened with excitement. Concerts? In the water? Yeah, a lot of people feel liberated when they're in the shower, Rick replied, amused by their eagerness. It's a personal space. You can do whatever you want, sing your heart out, and no one will judge you. Then we must try this showering experience again, Layla exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. It sounds exhilarating. To sing while the water falls, it must be like dancing with the rain. Rick laughed, the image of the two aliens prancing around his bathroom filling his mind. Sure, we can do that. But first, let me explain how to use a shower properly. As Rick guided them through the process, he felt a surge of energy. The simplicity of the moment, a man sharing knowledge with two intergalactic visitors, felt both absurd and beautiful. He demonstrated how to turn on the shower, adjusting the temperature, and explaining the different functions of the faucet. They watched him intently, their expressions a mix of confusion and fascination. Can you tell us more about your customs? How do humans express their emotions? Anita asked, her silver hair glinting under the living room lights. Rick paused, considering his answer carefully. Emotions are complex for us. We express them in various ways, through words, body language, and art. Music and dance are significant too. They can convey feelings that words sometimes can't. We also have rituals and celebrations to mark important life events, like birthdays or weddings. Rituals, like a sacred ceremony? Anita queried, her brows furrowing in thought. Sort of, but not always. Some are just for fun, like throwing a big party for turning a year older. It's about gathering friends and family to celebrate life. Rick smiled, reminiscing about the joyful chaos of birthday parties filled with laughter, cake, and the warmth of human connection. Layla leaned closer, her curiosity palpable. Do you celebrate these rituals in water? Not usually, Rick replied, but that sounds like an incredible idea. Water has always been a source of joy. Think of swimming parties during summer, where everyone gathers at a pool or beach. Then we shall have a celebration of our own, Anita declared, her blue skin shimmering with excitement. We will invite your friends, and together, we shall create a festival that combines the wonders of our worlds. Rick felt a spark of inspiration igniting within him. That could be amazing. But let's take it one step at a time. First, let's get you two accustomed to Earth life. We can throw a little gathering with just a few friends to see how it goes. Anita and Layla exchanged excited glances, their smiles infectious. We would be honored to experience your world together, Layla exclaimed, bouncing slightly in her seat. The conversation flowed seamlessly, with Rick introducing them to various Earth concepts, from music and movies to the diversity of cultures and traditions. As the hours passed, the sun began to rise, casting a golden light across the room. He realized he had never spent a night in such invigorating company. Their laughter felt like music, their questions challenging his perspectives and enriching his understanding of his own world. Finally, Rick took a deep breath, feeling the weight of reality settle on him. Okay, but let's talk about something serious for a second. Why did you really come to Earth? What are you hoping to achieve? Anita's expression softened, and for a moment, she seemed almost vulnerable. We came seeking knowledge, yes, but we also wish to understand emotions, your emotions. Aquaning has grown cold, disconnected from feelings. We fear that if we don't reconnect with what makes us, we may lose our essence. That's profound, Rick said, taken aback by her honesty. But why Earth? Why not another planet? Your planet is rich in diversity and expression, Anita continued, her voice steady. It resonates with life. We believe we can learn to feel again by immersing ourselves in your world. Rick considered her words, feeling a deep sense of empathy. You're searching for connection. I get that. But feelings can be messy. They come with joy and pain, love and loss. It's a roller coaster. Layla's eyes sparkled. Then we shall ride this roller coaster with you. Together, we will embrace the chaos of emotions and learn from them. Rick couldn't help but smile at their enthusiasm. All right, let's start with the basics. If we're going to do this, I need to show you what it means to be human. You're in for an adventure. An adventure? Anita echoed, her voice filled with glee. What shall we do first? Rick leaned back, contemplating. How about a shower to start? It's a quintessential human experience, and you two already seem excited about it. With eager nods from both women, Rick led them back to the bathroom, the energy in the air electric with anticipation. He turned on the water, adjusting the temperature to a comfortable warmth. The steam began to fill the room, creating an inviting atmosphere. Okay, watch closely, he instructed, demonstrating how to step into the stream, feeling the water cascade over his body. Anita and Layla followed suit, their faces lighting up with delight as they felt the water for the first time. Ah, it's warm, Layla squealed, twirling around under the spray, her laughter echoing off the tiled walls. It feels like a gentle hug from the sky. Rick watched, his heart swelling with joy at their genuine happiness. Exactly. Now, here's the fun part. You can sing, dance, and enjoy yourselves. Let loose. The bathroom transformed into a stage as Anita and Layla began to sing, their voices harmonizing beautifully with the sound of the water. They moved gracefully, twirling and splashing as they discovered the joys of the shower. It was a scene of pure, unfiltered joy, two alien beauties finding bliss in a human ritual that Rick had taken for granted. As he joined them under the water, laughing and singing along, Rick felt a connection forming that transcended their worlds. In that moment, they were not just an Earth dweller and two aliens. They were beings united by the sheer wonder of existence, exploring the boundaries of their realities together. The day had just begun, but Rick could sense that their journey was only beginning. They would navigate the complexities of emotions, learn from each other, and perhaps, in the process, discover what it truly meant to be alive. The essence of humanity. As the last droplets of water cascaded down, Rick, Anita, and Layla emerged from the shower, laughter still echoing through the bathroom. The vibrant energy that filled the room felt like a warm embrace, a testament to the joy of newfound experiences. They wrapped themselves in fluffy towels, their faces glowing with exhilaration. Now this is how humans celebrate, Rick explained, grinning as he watched Anita and Layla trying to adjust their hair, which clung in damp tendrils to their foreheads. You both look amazing. Anita beamed, her smile radiant as she tilted her head, inspecting her reflection in the bathroom mirror. Your world is filled with such joy and spontaneity. I feel alive in ways I have not felt before. Layla, still twirling her towel, chimed in, yes. This shower experience was unlike anything we have encountered. Water is not just for survival, it can be a source of happiness. Rick felt a warmth swell in his chest. It was amazing to see them embrace something so simple yet profound. That's what I love about it, he replied. It's all about the little things, the moments that make life beautiful. With the morning sun filtering through the windows, the trio moved to the kitchen, the aroma of fresh coffee brewing in the air. What's next on our journey of exploration? Anita asked, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Breakfast, Rick announced, taking a seat at the table. It's a crucial part of the day. You'll see how we fuel ourselves for whatever comes next. Layla watched intently as Rick prepared a simple breakfast, scrambled eggs, crispy bacon, and toast. You cook, like creating art with food, she asked, fascinated by the way he cracked the eggs with precision and whisked them in a bowl. Exactly. Cooking can be creative, like painting with flavors, Rick replied, pouring the eggs into a sizzling pan. It's a way to express yourself. Plus, sharing a meal is a great way to bond with others. As the aroma of breakfast filled the air, Anita moved closer, her blue skin shimmering in the sunlight. "Can we assist? We want to learn how to create these flavors you speak of." Rick chuckled at their enthusiasm. "Sure, you can help by toasting the bread and setting the table." As the breakfast took shape, Rick noticed how Anita and Layla immersed themselves in the process. They were quick learners, laughing at their minor mishaps, like when Layla accidentally dropped a slice of bread into the toaster and it popped out with a crisp crunch. "Oops," she giggled, retrieving it with a flourish. "I believe I have created a new type of toast." Rick smiled, appreciating their playful spirit. That's the spirit. Culinary creativity is all about experimentation. After a few minutes, breakfast was ready. They gathered around the table, the atmosphere warm and inviting. Rick felt a wave of contentment wash over him as they sat together, ready to share a meal. "Now the best part, dig in," he said, serving them generous portions. The first bite brought an explosion of flavors, and he watched in delight as Anita and Layla's faces lit up. "This is incredible," Anita exclaimed, her eyes wide with astonishment. "How can you create such harmony from simple ingredients?" "It's about balance," Rick explained, savoring his own bite. "Salt, fat, acid, and heat. It's like life, finding balance in chaos. Sometimes, a little bit of sweetness can enhance the flavor." Layla nodded, her expression serious as she took notes. "We will remember this balance. It is similar to our philosophies of harmony on Aquanine." As they continued eating, their conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on various topics from culture to music. Rick shared stories about his childhood, memories of family gatherings filled with laughter and love. He spoke of his dreams and ambitions, and the struggle to find one's place in a world that often felt chaotic. Anita and Layla listened intently, their expressions reflecting a deep understanding. "You've faced challenges, yet you find joy in them," Anita observed. "It is a testament to your resilience." "Yeah, life isn't always easy, but it's the struggles that make the joyful moments sweeter," Rick replied, feeling a sense of kinship growing among them. After breakfast, Rick suggested they explore the neighborhood. "Let's go outside. I'll show you some local sights and sounds of Earth." Anita and Layla exchanged excited glances, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Yes, we wish to experience everything," Layla declared. As they stepped outside, the sun bathed the world in a golden glow, and Rick felt a rush of excitement. The neighborhood buzzed with life. Children playing in the streets, the distant laughter of friends gathering for weekend barbecues, and the occasional bark of a dog echoing through the air. "Welcome to Earth," Rick said with a flourish, arms wide as if presenting a grand stage. "This is where life happens." They strolled down the sidewalk, Rick pointing out various sights, the vibrant gardens blooming with flowers, the neighborhood park filled with families, and the local cafe buzzing with chatter. Each step brought new wonders, and Rick could see the awe in Anita and Layla's eyes. "Why do you humans spend so much time outside?" Anita asked, observing a group of children playing frisbee. "What is it about the sun and nature that draws you?" "Being outside connects us to the world," Rick explained. "It's invigorating. The sun provides warmth and energy, and nature reminds us of our roots, where we come from. Plus, it's a great way to socialize." Layla giggled, a light-hearted laugh that danced in the air. "We have much to learn from you. The more we explore, the more we feel our hearts expand." As they wandered through the park, Rick noticed a group of musicians playing near the fountain. The sound of acoustic guitars filled the air, drawing them closer. "Let's check this out," he said, leading them toward the music. The musicians were immersed in their performance, strumming catchy melodies that made people smile and sway. Anita and Layla watched in rapture, captivated by the rhythm and emotion in the music. "Can we join?" Layla asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Rick hesitated, but then he saw the excitement in their eyes. "Absolutely," Let's go. He approached the musicians, introducing himself and the two aliens. The musicians welcomed them with open arms, inviting Anita and Layla to join in. What do you want to play? One of the guitarists asked, handing Layla a tambourine. I do not know how to play, Layla admitted, her cheeks turning a shade of lavender. But I wish to try. Rick smiled, impressed by her bravery. Just follow along. Feel the rhythm and let the music guide you. As the musicians resumed playing, Anita and Layla began to sway, their bodies moving to the beat. Slowly, they found their groove, the tambourine adding a delightful layer to the music. The crowd that had gathered around them erupted into applause, their laughter and cheers filling the air. This is exhilarating. Anita shouted over the music, her silver hair flowing as she danced. I can feel the energy of the people. Rick felt a rush of pride as he watched them embrace the moment. The joy radiating from Anita and Layla was infectious. It spread through the crowd, drawing more people to join in. What if we create our own song? Anita suggested, her eyes alight with creativity. A song that reflects our worlds. That's a brilliant idea, Rick replied, feeling a thrill of excitement. Let's do it. The musicians nodded, and together they began to craft a tune that blended the sounds of earth with the ethereal melodies of aquanine. The result was a harmonious fusion of genres, a celebration of their cultures that echoed through the park. As they sang, Rick noticed the subtle changes in Anita and Layla. Their confidence grew, their laughter more resonant, their movements more fluid. They were not just observers of Earth anymore. They were participants in the vibrant tapestry of human life. The song reached its climax, and when they finished, the crowd erupted into applause. Rick turned to see the joy on Anita and Layla's faces, pure, unadulterated happiness that reflected the essence of humanity. Thank you. Thank you. Layla beamed, waving to the crowd. We have never felt such warmth before. Welcome to Earth, Rick said, his heart swelling with pride. This is what it's all about, connection, joy, and creativity. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, painting the horizon with hues of orange and pink, Rick realized that this day was more than just an adventure. It was a beginning. Anita and Layla were not just visitors, they were becoming part of his world, intertwining their stories with his. Together, they would explore the depths of human experience, the beauty of emotions, and the power of connection. The journey ahead was filled with possibilities, and Rick couldn't wait to discover them together. A day of discovery. The sun hung low in the sky as Rick, Anita, and Layla left the park, their hearts still brimming with the joy of their impromptu performance. They strolled along the winding paths of the neighborhood, Rick's mind racing with ideas for what to show them next. Now that you've experienced music and food, how about a taste of Earth's art and culture? Rick suggested, glancing at the two aliens whose eyes sparkled with excitement. Yes, we want to learn everything, Anita exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. Layla nodded vigorously, her lavender skin glowing in the golden light. Art is a reflection of life. It helps us understand emotions. Rick led them to a nearby gallery, a cozy little space that showcased local artists. As they stepped inside, the air felt charged with creativity, the walls adorned with vibrant paintings and intricate sculptures. Welcome to the world of art, Rick announced, his voice echoing slightly in the quiet space. The gallery was filled with a medley of styles, abstract pieces splashed with bold colors, serene landscapes that evoked a sense of tranquility, and sculptures that seemed to defy gravity. Each artwork told a story, inviting the viewer to interpret its meaning. Anita walked up to a large abstract painting that dominated one wall. This piece is chaotic yet beautiful, she mused, her fingers brushing the canvas. It feels like a whirlwind of emotions. That's the beauty of abstract art, Rick replied, stepping beside her. It allows each person to interpret it in their own way. It can evoke different feelings and thoughts. Layla wandered to a sculpture made from twisted metal and glass. "What is this?" she asked, her brow furrowed in curiosity. "That's a sculpture of resilience," Rick explained. The artist wanted to convey how strength can arise from chaos. The twisted metal represents challenges, while the glass symbolizes clarity and hope. Layla's eyes widened with understanding. So, this art reflects the human experience, the struggles and triumphs. Exactly, Rick said, proud of her grasp of the concept. Art is often a mirror of life. As they moved through the gallery, Rick encouraged them to express their thoughts on each piece. Their insights revealed a unique perspective, influenced by their experiences on Aquitaine. They saw beauty in what Rick considered imperfections, weaving their interpretations into a rich tapestry of dialogue. After exploring the gallery, Rick suggested they try their hand at creating their own art. "Let's make something together. There's a community art space nearby with supplies we can use." Anita and Layla exchanged excited glances. "We would love to." Anita replied, her eyes shining with eagerness. When they arrived at the community art space, the atmosphere buzzed with creativity. Artists of all ages filled the room, painting, sculpting, and sharing ideas. The walls were lined with vibrant murals, each a testament to the community's artistic spirit. "Wow, look at all this!" Layla exclaimed, her gaze darting from one creation to another. "It's like a symphony of colors." Rick grabbed some paintbrushes and canvases, setting up a workspace in a corner. "What do you want to create?" he asked, handing them the brushes. Anita pondered for a moment before a smile broke across her face. "Let's create a piece that represents our journey together." "Great idea," Rick agreed. "We can mix elements from Earth and Aquitaine to symbolize our bond." As they began to paint, a whirlwind of creativity took hold. Rick introduced them to different techniques, blending colors, layering textures, and using bold strokes. Anita's movements were graceful, almost like a dance, while Layla experimented with colors, her laughter ringing out as she splattered paint onto her canvas. "This is liberating," Layla exclaimed, her enthusiasm palpable. "I never thought expressing ourselves could be so exhilarating." "Art allows us to communicate without words," Rick added, feeling a sense of unity as they worked side by side. "It's a powerful way to share emotions." Hours passed as they immersed themselves in their creations. Rick felt a sense of camaraderie growing among them. They shared stories as they painted, Rick talking about his childhood dreams, Anita recalling the serene beauty of Aquitaine, and Layla sharing tales of her adventurous spirit. Finally, they stepped back to admire their work. Their canvases reflected a beautiful fusion of styles, swirling colors that blended earth tones with the ethereal blues and greens of Aquitaine. It was a celebration of their unique connection. "It's breathtaking," Anita breathed, her eyes sparkling with pride. "This represents our journey perfectly." Rick smiled, his heart swelling with gratitude. "It truly does. It's a piece of our story." As they packed up their supplies, a few onlookers approached, admiring their artwork. "You three have created something special," one older woman said, her eyes shining with warmth. "What inspired you?" Rick exchanged glances with Anita and Layla, and he felt an urge to share their story. "We're exploring the beauty of connection between our worlds, our experiences, and our emotions." The woman nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Art has a unique way of bridging gaps. You've captured that essence beautifully." Their conversation sparked a lively exchange, with others chiming in, sharing their own stories and interpretations of the artwork. Rick watched in awe as Anita and Layla engaged with the community, their laughter mingling with the voices around them. Eventually, they decided to take a break and step outside. The sun had begun its descent, casting a warm glow over the city. They found a bench in a nearby park, and Rick pulled out a thermos of homemade lemonade he had prepared that morning. "Here's a little refreshment after our artistic endeavors," he said, pouring the lemonade into cups. Anita took a sip, her eyes lighting up. "This is delicious. What's in it?" Just some lemons, sugar, and a bit of mint. It's a summer classic, Rick replied, savoring the refreshing taste. Sweet and tangy. It captures the essence of joy. Layla added, her appreciation evident. Much like our painting. They spent the next hour relaxing on the bench, enjoying the lemonade, and watching the world go by. Children played nearby, their laughter echoing through the air, while couples strolled hand in hand, lost in their own conversations. As Rick observed the scene, he felt a sense of belonging settle in his heart. This was life in all its chaotic beauty, moments of joy, connection, and spontaneity. Is this what humans call community? Anita asked, her gaze thoughtful. The bond shared among individuals. Rick nodded, touched by her insight. Yes, it's about being there for one another, sharing experiences, and creating memories together. It's a fundamental part of being human. Layla looked up at the sky, her expression serene. On Aquanine, we value harmony among our people. Perhaps this is a universal truth. We all seek connection. Their conversation deepened, touching on the themes of belonging and identity. Rick shared his struggles with feeling isolated at times, even in a bustling city. Anita and Layla recounted moments from Aquanine that highlighted the importance of unity among their species. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of purple and gold, Rick felt a profound sense of gratitude. This day had been about more than just exploration. It had been about forging bonds, understanding one another, and celebrating the beautiful tapestry of life. Rick looked at Anita and Layla, their faces illuminated by the fading light. I'm so glad we're experiencing this together, he said, his voice filled with warmth. You've brought new perspectives into my life, and I can't wait to see what else we'll discover. Anita smiled, her eyes reflecting the colors of the sunset. This journey is just beginning. We will learn from each other and create a beautiful narrative together. Layla nodded in agreement, her expression radiant. Together, we can create art, music, and memories that bridge our worlds. With renewed energy, they decided to continue their exploration, the night air cool against their skin. Rick felt a sense of excitement bubbling within him, ready to discover more of what life had to offer. Let's find a place to watch the stars, he suggested, the thrill of adventure coursing through him. Stars? Anita asked, her brow furrowing in curiosity. Yes, the night sky holds wonders that change the way we see the universe, Rick explained. There's a perfect spot not far from here where the city lights fade and the stars shine bright. As they walked under the canopy of night, Rick felt an undeniable bond growing among them, a connection that transcended species and cultures. They were no longer just an earthling and two aliens. They were friends embarking on a shared journey, exploring the mysteries of existence together. Little did they know, this night would hold secrets of its own, revealing more about themselves and the worlds they hailed from. Under the stars. As they made their way toward the hill overlooking the city, Rick couldn't shake the feeling of anticipation. The warm breeze carried the scent of blooming jasmine, mingling with the distant sounds of the city, laughter, music, and the occasional honk of a car. Are we going to see the big lights in the sky? Layla asked, her lavender skin glowing faintly in the moonlight. Yes, the stars are like tiny jewels scattered across a vast canvas, Rick replied, glancing back at the two aliens. They tell stories of distant worlds and ancient times. Anita looked intrigued. Stories? How do stars tell stories? They're part of our mythology and history, Rick explained. Many cultures have woven tales around them, using constellations as guides for navigation or symbols of dreams and aspirations. Layla's eyes sparkled with excitement. I want to hear these stories. Each star is a connection to a world beyond. As they reached the hilltop, Rick paused, taking a moment to appreciate the view. The city sprawled beneath them, its lights twinkling like stars on the ground. He spread a blanket on the grass and invited Anita and Layla to sit. This is one of my favorite spots, he said, settling down beside them. On clear nights like this, it feels like the universe is within reach. They lay back, the soft grass cushioning them as they gazed upward. The night sky was a tapestry of stars, some bright and shimmering, others faint but resolute. A shooting star streaked across the sky, drawing gasps of awe from both Anita and Layla. "Did you see that?" Anita exclaimed, pointing excitedly. "What does it mean?" "That's a shooting star," Rick replied, a smile on his face. "Many people make wishes when they see one. It's believed that it brings good luck." "I wish to understand more about your world," Anita declared, her eyes shining with wonder. "I wish to experience the beauty of emotions," Layla added, her voice soft and thoughtful. Rick chuckled, feeling warmth blossom in his chest. "You both are already experiencing it. Each moment we share is a beautiful emotion in itself." They settled into a comfortable silence, their breaths mingling with the sounds of the night. Rick pointed out various constellations, sharing their stories. He spoke of Orion, the great hunter, and his quest for adventure, of Cassiopeia, the queen who was both beautiful and vain, and of the Big Dipper, which served as a guide for travelers. As he narrated these tales, Rick noticed how enthralled Anita and Layla were. Their eyes widened with each new revelation, their imaginations sparked by the imagery of ancient battles and heroic journeys. "Are there heroes in your world?" Layla asked, her voice filled with curiosity. "Of course," Rick replied, feeling a surge of pride. "Humans have always celebrated heroes, people who have done extraordinary things for the greater good. They inspire us to be brave and kind." Anita's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "Can we be heroes too?" "Absolutely," Rick assured them, leaning in closer. "Heroes come in many forms. It's about how you choose to act in difficult situations, standing up for what's right and helping others. You've already been heroes today by bringing joy to everyone in the park." Anita and Layla exchanged glances, as smiles radiant. "Then we will become heroes together," Anita declared, determination clear in her voice. Rick felt a surge of excitement as he realized how this journey was shaping their identities. They were not just visitors from another world. They were explorers on a quest to understand the depths of humanity and their own capabilities. As the night wore on, the trio began to share their own dreams and aspirations. Rick spoke of his desire to write a book, to weave tales that inspire others. He envisioned stories that would bridge gaps between different cultures, fostering understanding and compassion. Anita shared her wish to create art that reflected the beauty of her planet, combining the vibrant colors of Aquanine with Earth's diverse landscapes. "I want to capture the essence of both worlds," she said, her eyes shining with inspiration. Layla's voice was soft as she revealed her dream of becoming an ambassador between their worlds, fostering connections and understanding. "I want to create harmony, to show that despite our differences, we are all part of the same universe." As they spoke, Rick felt an unbreakable bond forming among them. Their dreams intertwined like the stars above, creating a constellation of hope and possibility. He marveled at how three beings from different worlds could come together to share their aspirations. Then, as if the universe was responding to their desires, a brilliant meteor shower erupted across the sky. Streaks of light filled the darkness, each one more dazzling than the last. They all sat up, their eyes wide with wonder, the air thick with magic. "Look at that," Rick shouted, pointing to the cascade of lights. "It's like a cosmic celebration." "It's beautiful," Anita breathed, her face aglow with excitement. Layla clapped her hands in delight, her laughter ringing out. "This is a sign of good fortune. Our dreams are aligning with the cosmos." In that moment, they made a pact to pursue their dreams together, to be heroes not just in their own lives, but in the lives of others. They would become ambassadors of joy, unity, and creativity. As the final meteors faded from view, Rick felt a renewed sense of purpose. The night had not only deepened their connection, but had sparked a fire within them all, a shared ambition to create a better world, one filled with understanding and compassion. Feeling a bit playful, Rick turned to Anita and Layla. You know what would be amazing? If we could experience a human ritual together. There's something special about sharing traditions. How about a campfire? What's a campfire? Layla asked, her curiosity piqued. It's a gathering where people come together to share stories, sing songs, and enjoy each other's company around a fire, Rick explained. It's a way to connect with nature and one another. Yes, let's do it, Anita said, her excitement bubbling over. Where do we find a fire? There's a park not far from here that has designated areas for campfires, Rick suggested, his heart racing at the thought of this new adventure. We can roast marshmallows and share stories under the stars. With enthusiasm coursing through them, they gathered their things and set off toward the park, the cool night air invigorating. As they walked, Rick could feel the anticipation of this new experience pulsing in the air, blending with the energy of their dreams. Once they reached the park, they found a small clearing surrounded by trees, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. Rick quickly set up a small fire pit, gathering twigs and kindling, while Anita and Layla collected larger logs. Are you ready for some campfire magic? Rick asked, lighting the fire with careful precision. The flames danced to life, casting a warm glow in the darkened clearing. This is incredible, Anita exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder as they sat around the fire, its warmth enveloping them. As the fire crackled and popped, Rick reached into his bag and pulled out a package of marshmallows. Now, for the best part, roasting marshmallows. What are marshmallows? Layla asked, tilting her head. They're soft, fluffy treats that turn gooey and delicious when roasted over a fire, Rick explained, skewering a marshmallow on a stick and holding it over the flames. Anita and Layla watched in awe as Rick expertly roasted his marshmallow, the sugar caramelizing into a golden brown shell. He pulled it off the fire, letting it cool for a moment before taking a big bite. Like this, he said, his mouth full of sweet, gooey marshmallow. You'll love it. With eagerness, they each took turns roasting their own marshmallows, laughter filling the air as they stumbled over the process. Layla nearly singed hers, eliciting a burst of laughter from Anita. Careful, it's hotter than it looks, Anita warned, giggling uncontrollably. After their marshmallows were perfectly roasted, they started assembling s'mores, layers of chocolate, marshmallow, and graham crackers squished together. This is a delightful earth treat, Layla said after taking a big bite. The flavors are a beautiful symphony. Rick chuckled, savoring the moment. See, this is what campfires are all about, food, stories, and laughter. It's a chance to share experiences and create memories. As the fire crackled, Rick began to share stories from his childhood, tales of camping trips with his family, the mischief he got into with his friends, and the adventures they had exploring the woods. Each story was met with wide-eyed amazement from Anita and Layla. Your world sounds so adventurous, Anita remarked, her face lit by the flickering flames. We have adventures too, but they are different. We explore the ocean depths and the forests of Aquamarine. Tell us about your adventures, Layla urged, her eyes shining with excitement. Anita shared tales of her aquatic explorations, swimming alongside bioluminescent creatures and discovering hidden coral reefs that glimmered with vibrant colors. Layla joined in, recounting her experiences soaring through the skies of Aquamarine, feeling the rush of wind beneath her wings. Their stories intertwined, creating a tapestry of shared experiences across galaxies. Rick listened intently, captivated by their vivid descriptions and the passion that radiated from them. As the fire flickered and the stars twinkled overhead, Rick realized that this moment was more than just a gathering around a fire. It was a celebration of friendship and the beauty of connection. They were not just three beings from different worlds. They were explorers of the heart, embarking on a journey of discovery and understanding. As the night deepened, they decided to share their hopes and fears, opening their hearts to one another. Rick spoke about his insecurities and the weight of expectations, while Anita and Layla shared their own struggles in navigating their worlds and finding their place within them. Through their vulnerability, they found strength in each other. They offered support and encouragement, solidifying their bond even further. "I believe we can overcome anything together," Layla said, her voice filled with conviction. "As long as we have each other, we can achieve our dreams." With the fire slowly dying down, they gazed at the stars once more, feeling a profound sense of unity. Under that vast sky, they made a pact to continue their journey together, embracing the adventures and challenges that lay ahead. As they snuffed out the fire, the warmth of their connection lingered, a beacon of hope illuminating their path. Little did they know that their adventures were only just beginning, filled with moments of laughter, discovery, and the promise of something truly extraordinary. Into the unknown. The following day dawned with a vibrant glow, the sun rising over the horizon like a golden orb spilling light onto the world. Rick awoke with a renewed sense of purpose, the memories of the previous night's campfire still dancing in his mind. He stretched, feeling invigorated, and glanced at his two companions, who were still nestled in their blankets, their breaths synchronized in peaceful slumber. Leaning against a tree, Rick took a moment to appreciate the tranquil beauty of the morning. The gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets, and the birds serenaded the day with their cheerful songs. He couldn't help but smile at the thought of the adventures awaiting them. As the sun climbed higher, he decided it was time to rouse Anita and Layla. "Hey, sleepyheads, rise and shine," he called out playfully, shaking their shoulders gently. Anita stirred first, her lavender skin catching the sunlight as she blinked sleepily. "Is it morning already?" she murmured, stretching her arms above her head. "Yes, and it's a beautiful day. Time for more adventures," Rick replied, grinning at her. Layla followed suit, her luminous skin glowing as she yawned and sat up. "What do we have planned for today?" she asked, her curiosity piqued. Rick's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I thought we could explore the nearby forest. There are some amazing trails, and I want to show you the wonders of nature here on Earth. You might even get to see some wildlife." The prospect of exploration thrilled both Anita and Layla. They quickly packed their belongings, their chatter filled with anticipation as they prepared for the day ahead. After a quick breakfast of leftover s'mores, an unorthodox morning meal, but one that made them all laugh, they set off toward the forest. The path was lined with vibrant wildflowers and tall trees, their leaves rustling softly in the breeze. "Look at the colors," Anita exclaimed, stopping to admire a cluster of purple flowers that swayed gently. "They're so vibrant and alive. They remind me of the flora on Aquanine, but with a different essence," Layla added, kneeling to inspect a few delicate blooms. "It's fascinating how life adapts to different environments." As they ventured deeper into the woods, Rick explained the importance of preserving nature. "Forests like this one are vital to our planet's health. They provide oxygen, habitats for wildlife, and resources for people. It's crucial that we protect them." Layla nodded, her expression thoughtful. "On Aquanine, we have similar ecosystems. We work hard to ensure balance and sustainability. It's essential for our survival." Rick smiled, appreciating the depth of their conversation. They were not just exploring the physical world, they were sharing philosophies and ideas that bridged the gap between their cultures. As they walked, they encountered a small clearing where sunlight poured in, illuminating the space with warmth. In the center stood a magnificent oak tree, its branches stretching out like welcoming arms. "This is perfect," Rick said, leading them into the clearing. "Let's take a break and enjoy this beautiful spot." They settled beneath the oak, its roots forming a natural bench. The sun filtered through the leaves, casting playful shadows on the ground. "Do you have any stories about trees?" Anita asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Rick chuckled, thinking back to the legends he had heard as a child. "Absolutely. Trees are often seen as symbols of wisdom and strength in many cultures. There's a famous tree in Japan called the Jomonsuji, believed to be over 2,000 years old. It's said to hold the spirits of the ancients. Layla's eyes widened in awe. That's incredible. I wish to see such a tree. Anita's gaze turned thoughtful. On Aquitaine, we have sacred groves where the trees sing, resonating with the energy of our ancestors. It's believed that the spirits of nature guide us. Rick listened intently, captivated by their descriptions of their home. The imagery they painted was rich and colorful, each story weaving a connection between their worlds. After resting for a while, they continued their exploration, following a winding path that led them deeper into the forest. Suddenly, they heard rustling nearby. What was that? Layla whispered, her eyes wide with excitement. Let's go check it out, Rick suggested, his adventurous spirit ignited. They approached the source of the sound cautiously, moving quietly to avoid startling whatever creature was hiding in the underbrush. As they peered through the foliage, they caught sight of a family of deer, their delicate forms grazing peacefully. The sight was mesmerizing. Their graceful movements and the gentle way they interacted with each other filled Rick with a sense of wonder. Look, they're so beautiful, Anita whispered, captivated by the scene. They're like ethereal beings, Layla added, her eyes wide with admiration. This is a glimpse of Earth's magic. Rick smiled, thrilled to share this moment with his friends. He explained how deer were often seen as symbols of gentleness and intuition in many cultures, embodying the essence of nature's harmony. As the deer moved gracefully through the clearing, the trio stood in silence, feeling a profound connection to the moment. It was as if time had stopped, allowing them to soak in the beauty of nature together. After a while, the deer moved on, disappearing into the underbrush. The trio lingered in the clearing, their hearts full of gratitude for the experience. Shall we continue? Rick asked, sensing the energy in the air. Yes. What else can we discover? Anita replied, her enthusiasm infectious. They followed the path deeper into the forest, discovering hidden streams, vibrant flowers, and even an enchanting waterfall cascading over rocks, creating a serene pool below. This is like a dream, Layla exclaimed, her voice filled with awe as she splashed water playfully. How is it possible for such beauty to exist? Nature has its way of surprising us, Rick said, joining her at the water's edge. It's like a reminder that beauty is all around us, waiting to be discovered. They took turns splashing each other, laughter echoing through the forest. It was a moment of pure joy, free from worries or responsibilities. Rick felt a sense of freedom he hadn't experienced in a long time, a feeling amplified by the presence of his two extraordinary friends. As they played, the sunlight shifted, casting a golden glow over the landscape. Rick took a moment to capture the scene in his mind, knowing this would be a memory he'd cherish forever. After their impromptu water play, they found a sunny rock to sit on, the warmth of the stones soothing after the refreshing dip. This feels magical, Anita said, leaning back with a contented sigh. Moments like these remind me of the joy of simply being alive. Layla nodded, her expression reflective. We are explorers of the heart, seeking the beauty in every experience. Rick smiled, feeling a rush of affection for both of them. You're right. Life is about these moments, connection, laughter, and the joy of discovery. We're creating our own adventure story right now. Just then, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, as if the forest itself was echoing their sentiments. The sounds of nature surrounded them, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the distant sound of the waterfall, creating a symphony of life. Feeling inspired, Rick spoke up. What if we create our own tradition? Something that embodies our adventure and connection. Anita perked up at the idea. What do you have in mind? We could each bring an item that represents our culture and share its significance, Rick suggested. Then we can create a little ceremony to honor our friendship and the beauty of our different worlds. Layla clapped her hands excitedly. That sounds wonderful. I love the idea of sharing parts of ourselves. After brainstorming, they decided to gather items from their surroundings. Rick chose a smooth, flat stone that had a beautiful swirl of colors, a representation of Earth's diverse landscapes. Anita selected a small flower, delicate and vibrant, symbolizing the beauty of Aquanine's flora. Layla found a feather, soft and light, representing freedom and the joy of exploration. Once they had gathered their items, they formed a circle on the grassy bank near the waterfall. "Let's each share what our items mean to us," Rick suggested, feeling the weight of the moment. Anita went first, holding up her flower. "This flower represents the vibrancy of life on Aquanine. It reminds me of the interconnectedness of all living beings, how we thrive together in harmony." Layla followed, raising her feather. "This feather represents the spirit of exploration. It signifies my desire to soar to new heights, to discover and learn from every experience." Finally, Rick held up his stone. "This stone symbolizes the foundation of our friendship. It reminds me that, like the earth, we are grounded in our connection and shared experiences. Together, we can weather any storm." As they spoke, a sense of unity enveloped them, a bond that transcended their differences. They took turns expressing their gratitude for each other, each word weaving the tapestry of their friendship tighter. "May this bond we share continue to grow," Rick said, looking at both of them with sincerity. "Together, we can explore not just the world, but the depths of our hearts." They each placed their items in the center of the circle, creating a small altar of sorts, a testament to their friendship and the journey they were embarking on together. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, they sat together, reflecting on the day. "Today was more than just an adventure. It was a celebration of who we are," Layla said softly, her voice tinged with emotion. Anita nodded, her eyes shimmering with joy. "And it's just the beginning. I can't wait for what's next." Rick smiled, feeling a warmth in his heart. "Me too. Our adventures are only just beginning." With laughter, friendship, and the promise of more discoveries ahead, they made their way back through the forest, each step echoing the heartbeat of their journey, a journey of connection, laughter, and the beautiful unknown that lay ahead.